who's right, who's wrong, how I feel, any of that. That doesn't matter. As a black man, I have never been more disappointed, embarrassed, ashamed, just flat out. This is the weakest version of black men we have ever had. Our ancestors have got to be looking down at us saying, God damn, James Earl Jones just died earlier this year. John Amos died earlier this year. We lost Quincy Jones. They got to be, those were men. Right, we don't have that anymore. I'm starting to think like the real men is just, they either offline, they not on social media, they outside doing their thing, working, whatever. I don't know, bro. I've never seen, but this election, now you would think the Democratic Party would learn their lesson, okay? The emotionalism, the fear mongering, that has not worked, right? They did a number on people. They worked a lot of people up. You could see people are reacting. I've been posting crash out videos all week. Mostly women, few gays, few white women. I'm seeing white women now want to go shave. White liberal women are shaving their heads off in protest. And it's funny, they thought they were going to win this and that the Trump supporters were going to do something, cause an insurrection. Now it's the Democrats. They're doing protests in the streets of Chicago, New York, all over. I think Joy Reid had to tell them to keep black women out of it, and we're not supporting anybody. Now black women are putting themselves even further on the island because they convinced black women that this lady was black and that this was they won, they Obama, and now they got these black women like just isolated. We ain't doing nothing for nobody but us. I'm like, y'all gonna be in a real echo chamber soon with that mentality. They are effing us up. They are. And I'm like, they think that bashing Latino voters and black voters and everyone else who voted that way is gonna work. No, you're just causing more division, and those people are not gonna come back out of spite now. You're not gonna bash somebody for the way they vote because they didn't feel the way you felt. Which brings me to, I'll go run down Aries Spears, right? So Aries Spears posts this video of this Latino boy, this moist Latino boy, talking about how he's disappointed that the Latino community voted for Trump.
Pointed in the Latin community for even voting, or as a Latino, I've never been more embarrassed and more disappointed in the Latin community for even voting or thinking of voting for Trump. Voting against your own self-interest is counterproductive. It's insane to me. Like, y'all don't make no sense. What's not clicking? And let's be very serious. Latinos voted for Trump because they want to be as close to whiteness as possible. It's because they are anti-black. It's because of the internalized racism. It's because of the pure out, not even internalized. It's for the outward racism. That's really mainly what it was. And let's not forget the misogyny of it all. Let's not forget that, because one thing a Latina woman is gonna do is gonna put her man, her son, and any male figure in the Latin community up on a pedestal.
Now, I tell Aries, I'm like, okay, now this goes back to the joke a few weeks ago, the insult comic, the roast comedian. He makes a joke about Puerto Rico. Not saying the joke was good, it was bad. Jokes vary, it's subjective. Whatever, it's a joke. Aries Spears claims to be the last Mohican. He came from the 90s. Michael Jordan, Def Comedy Jam. Oh, I'm back, my era. You know, this era is soft. I'm the last one who's still putting out hardcore comedy with no uncut Bolivian cocaine and all this stuff. I would think he would understand that, you know, the from this perspective. No, he's upset. He's screaming and hollering. You see what he said to me. And I'm like, well, first of all, they weren't in their house. They were in Madison Square Garden. That's actually Trump's from New York. So I don't know. I don't get that reference. You're mad because those people didn't feel the way y'all felt. The emotionalism that you sold on these Latinos did not work. Clearly, they weren't bothered by a joke. You were. And this is the guy who claims comedy's soft these days. I'm like, no, you're soft, bro. You have allowed these people to get you soft. I mean, I'm surprised you ain't got a pack of baby wipes in your purse or something. Like, we have gone way too soft, man. And this is the same guy who loves to revere himself with Patrice O'Neal. I'm like, no, the bravest thing I ever seen Patrice O'Neal do as a black man is he got on Fox when Don Imus got in trouble for calling black girls nappy-headed hoes at a basketball game or something. Patrice got up there as a black man on Fox with Dr. Lamont Hill and a couple of other white people, and was there defending Don Imus. On paper, a black comic defending a white comic for saying something racist is crazy, but Patrice was so genius, he made it work anyway. And he did it for the sake of, freedom of speech and just the sake of comedy, and held it down. I'm like, Aries, you are not on that level, bro. You're just as mushy and bussy and moist as the people that y'all posting on here. And speaking of that, this is Joy Reid now. For, like I say, more division that they cause. These people don't care about unity. They want to separate themselves. Sooner or later, they will be by themselves. She's telling people that you should separate yourself from Thanksgiving and the holidays for people that didn't vote the way you voted. So she's basically telling Democrats it's okay to stay home and not go to Thanksgiving this year. Well, good. Stay your ass home. You're going to miss out on the beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, and all that good shit. Go ahead. Y'all fucking around, listen to Joy Reid. This is the shit they promoting to y'all, bro. Wake up. And I'm not telling you to like Trump or to like this one. Just listen. Like, come on. Y'all don't see this engineered emotionalism they throwing on y'all. They want you to. They thought they could make the Latinos vote based off of a bad joke. Get the fuck out. Get a real strategy. Come on.
Voting for this, right? If you are an LGBTQ person and you know someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, this man was calling people the B word, J.D. Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash and said, we're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of black women were incredibly triggered by that. And if you then meet somebody and they voted for the people who called you trash, or if you're Puerto Rican, and someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question, because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm, that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood, and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually... And then,
okay, so I had to, this is something, I was bored yesterday, and I'm looking at Ricky Smiley, another punk. He's played that character, Bernice, for so long, he's starting to sound like an older grandma at this point from Alabama. This is sassy and I don't know what. And they had what I call a eulogy the next day. Like, how The View did the eulogy the next day? They all had on black dresses. This shit is hilarious. They are overreacting. They had on black dresses. These people spent all this time fear-mongering. You compared this man to Hitler, Mussolini. I'm like, yo, this is dangerous, y'all. When you're comparing somebody to worldwide mass killers, now these people suicide rates are up, therapy sessions are up. I'm like, yo, y'all are about to kill these folks with all of this. Y'all spent all this time gaslighting people. And it's like the only people with common sense left. We okay. We still sleeping like babies. But these people is freaking out. And listen to Ricky Smiley.
Well, that didn't happen.
Nope.
So, that was Michelle Obama. That didn't happen. I was just on the phone with Attorney Glennon 3. And I'm just telling you, I hate to sound messed up, man. Y'all, please, all the listeners, please forgive me. But democracy as we know it is over. We're talking about what we're going to do in the upcoming election. Warren Ballantyne said we have to win stuff on the state level, man. But, this man is set up to do whatever he wants to do, period. Democracy as we know it is over. It ain't going to be no midterm election. It ain't going to be no other presidential election. He can appoint. We're dealing with a situation like Vladimir Putin in Russia. Many things at stake going into this presidency, and many people are feeling a bit overwhelmed and anxious. So they help us unpack, all of this and find ways to cope. We're joined by Dr. Aldewan Tart. Good morning. Happy to have you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Dr. Tart, I got to ask you, with everything that's, going on and so much violence surrounding this particular election, people are fearful of even going out to events, public outings. What can you, what can you do to cope with such anxiety? Because people are feeling some kind of way this morning.
I feel the same. I mean, we're in grief. I mean, I think I know we're in grief. I think some of us are in denial. And I think that we also are traumatized, right? As men, we have let our sisters down, right? Like the world that we thought that they were in, we realize that they're not in. And then especially, black men who did not support Harris, the reality is that sexism on a level I didn't realize existed is here. So we have
I've been said that.
And we
said
have
that.
Sexism, racism, and then as black men, we don't collectively support our sisters. And our sisters have been trying to tell us this, Ricky. And I think we've been in denial that it's not as bad as it is, but it is. So I think, it's okay for us to be in grief and prepare for what's getting ready to happen. So, typically I'm saying, hey, don't be anxious. But I think if we're actually being safe, I think we should have caution to kind of see what's going to happen these next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous. I was like, oh my God, I better not go fast. I don't want to speed. What if I get pulled over? It was like so many different things. I had a lot of anxiety coming into work. And there was an article about the amount of people that have recently Googled what a panic attack feels like. Can you explain what that is and what it feels like?
Oh my God. Any of y'all traumatized? Have any of y'all needed therapy since Tuesday night? Like I say, the weakest black men of all time, bro. And I could go all day with all the references and videos. I just don't have time for it. This is, and it's scary to me. What's scary to me is the foundation of our community. When the women are freaking out and crying and having panic attacks and meltdowns, acting like children, the children see it, they freak out. The last people that can afford to act like that is men. The men have to stand up and like hold it down. What the fuck? You don't sit there and we going back to the George Floyd days. Nigga, what? Get your serious. Y'all have a slave mentality, a lot of y'all already. Y'all wake up, y'all walk around defeated, right? The white man foot on your neck 24/7. Y'all, I wouldn't want to go to war with any of you niggas. Y'all are pathetic and weak. And Special K, that's his co-star. He was on there too, gassing up black folks. The only person on that show that talked with any type of hope, optimism, normalcy was the Maria chick. She was the only one. The rest of them, they was even questioning God's faith. This whole show was based off church, and they do like praise breaks. And they did a praise break, and Ricky was like, I don't know, God. I don't get why God would do that. I'm like, what? I'm like, and black people listen to this every morning. Not all of y'all, but a lot of people. I'm like, what the? I couldn't wake up and listen to that. This is what y'all been dealing with all for the last few months. Him crying and bitching like this. You go to work with that energy, listening to this show. This is what you go to before you go to school. Get out of here. Legacy media, mainstream media has failed you. They've gaslit you. Y'all are the reason why people are having anxiety attacks. Y'all are the reason why people are out here committing suicide and shit. Yeah, you comparing people to Mussolini. Come on, man. Y'all, and Ricky Smiley didn't do any backtracking. They're gonna continue to keep this up and depend on fear and emotionalism because they have nothing left. And they would rather be scared and provoke fear in people. They want you to be scared for 4 years. I fuck you. I'm gonna live my life. Rather good or bad, no matter what happens. I'm not walking around here acting like some runaway slave, trying to fetch for cornbread and shit. I don't know what y'all niggas is on, but y'all can miss me with that. And if you come at me with the policies and all that, I'm not even talking political policies and presidential shit at this point. We just talking manhood. I'm talking lack of masculinity in our community. Because these are these men right here, these men are fathers. People look up to these people. And they on the radio having a damn eulogy the next day. Fucking pathetic, bro. I don't get these niggas. They all DL Hughley, he tearing up out here too. That's another beta. We got all these beta males. There's no real men in media right now, if you ask me. They all soft. Steve Harvey, Charlemagne, he wear more makeup than anybody on television right now. They all soft, bro. You either got these liberated women like Sunny's sister hosting. She had a meltdown too on The View. You got all these soft black folks in this position, and they are representing us, unfortunately. And I'm telling you, as a black man, these soft, moist, beta niggas y'all don't represent me. Please go somewhere. Y'all move if it's gonna be so bad. We ain't gonna have a democracy. We ain't gonna be another election. I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you. Well, take your country ass on somewhere. Go to Mexico, nigga, since you care so much about these migrants. Go to Canada. Get out of here. Please be gone. Like, God, y'all are insufferable, man. And if you're not terrified like they are, they get more upset at you. Why you just stupid? Why you ain't scared? What? Why I ain't scared, nigga? Because I got bills to pay and I don't got time for this. Get out of my face, man. Let me know what y'all think. Maybe it's a few scary ones watching this shit too. Maybe y'all will wake the fuck up. You know, when I was to watch horror movies, and rest in peace to Tony Todd, the Candyman. When we used to watch horror movies, my parents would sit me down. They give you the prep talk. This is not real. This is a movie. This is entertainment. And a lot of this is entertainment being pushed on you as news. News is an acronym: notoriety, weather, entertainment, weather, sports. They're pushing this shit on you as news, and a lot of it is propaganda, but you rather be told what to think. So it's like, okay, no. But it's like, damn, I'm going to watch y'all crash out until y'all burn, but man, this is really pathetic.